Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. It is hump day. So congrats on making it this far. The jazz goes so hard. I know, right? It's this one sec, let me just adjust this real quick. There we go. There we go. That's too far. There we go. It's this person that I found. They make covers of video game music, and they have a bunch of like Ace Attorney stuff, and they even had a Ghost Trick one. So I've been playing them. It's Insane in the Rain music. So definitely show them some love because they have been making the intros and outros a vibe. I can hear the Godot and Emma theme, so I assume it's jazz versions of it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But that was also, I was playing the Ghost Trick one, which the Ghost Trick one is hype. It's big hype. Oh, let me move this game up. So definitely recommend checking them out. It's again, Insane in the Rain music. Definitely recommend them. They are dope. Anyway, let's get into this game, shall we? Change my game capture so you can see what I can see. I'm excited to see how this is different from the other Ace Attorney games. We're about to start investigating. Damn right we are. Got an autosave feature. Love that. Love that. Okay. Click the button below to view a privacy policy online. It's okay. I know you're going to sell all my information. I don't need an investigation to determine that. How do I make this full screen? Let's see. Oh, interesting. You can go with a pixelated art style. Kev's not here, so don't ask me for the facts. He says all the facts, not me. I know squat about investigations. Just gonna watch from the sidelines. Yeah, no worries, no worries. We're on our own. Oh shit, Kev is here. You manifested him. Let's see, PC settings. Oh, here we go, here we go. There we go. All right, now we're full screen. Title selection. Investigations. Oh, I'm excited. The pixel art's cool, but I'm definitely going to go with the HD. Start from this episode. Yes, here we go. At long last. Investigations. Turnabout visitor. Okay, so we're carrying on the turnabout theme. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go to this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Damn, in Edgeworth's office, too. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. This takes place after a week after 3-5, by the way. Okay, good to know. Okay, so this is basically chronologically immediately after the last case we played then. Nice. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Interesting. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? I love his reaction. I think in this game we may see a lot of Gumshoe than we did on Ace Attorney. Kev can confirm this, he knows the facts. True. I believe that is the case. I think that Kev mentioned that when we were playing the last Ace Attorney game, actually. So that'll be a lot of fun. Whoa, what the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze! Identify yourself. Shut up! You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Damn, Edgeworth comes back to his office and sees a dead body. Crazy shit. Yeah. Ugh, what a rough return home, eh? Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Interesting. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases in some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m., High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. I've finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Slight issue, but because your webcam, I can't see a small side of the bottom left. I think you can slightly change it, place it elsewhere. I mean, there's not really anything to see there. I mean, no matter where I put it, it's going to be covering something. So I think I'll probably just leave it there for the time being. Yes, sir. Oh, here we go. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. I can't. Oh, the subtitles. I see. Okay, I got you. Okay. Yeah, I see that now. Let's see. Let's put it in the top right then. Or top right, top left. I got you. My bad. Yeah, I didn't notice the subtitles when I looked before. There, that should fix that. Scruffy is back. When I heard that murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. Should be mentioned, this was a DS game still, and as you can see, it looks a lot more different compared to the main lines. Yeah, for sure. I actually immediately, when I saw the avatar for Miles walking around, I noticed the art direction is just a little bit different. It's cool. Also, it definitely shows it was a DS game with the pixel art version. That makes a lot of sense. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. It's so cool seeing them like animated and actually react. Yeah, the sprites look more on the side, more on from the side than from the front than in Ace Attorney. True, yeah. They're very side on. But yeah, I love seeing them like actually emote in real time. That's fun. I'll say, The culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa! Sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, yes. If you're still here, Kev, by the way. I was thinking about what you said. I've been thinking about it since you said it, about like the channel points. And I think I finally came up with something that'll be really fun. I got a smaller tea tray finally, and the next thing I need to get, which will probably be within like the next month-ish, so near future, I'm gonna get a table for my 3D printer / storage, but I'll be able to get that out of storage and set it up. And then I was thinking that like for a channel reward, we could like let people pick something to print and have that like running in the background. I'll like probably move my camera setup a little bit so you can see it while we're like gaming and stuff. Or maybe I'll just set up I have like a cheap crappy looking webcam. Yeah. And we could even like I can even edit the prints to put like people's username on it to show who like printed the thing. But I thought that would be a lot of fun. I could even like set up, I have a little webcam. Maybe I'll set that up on it. And then like we'll put it somewhere else on the screen when it's going. But yeah, I'm glad you like that. I thought that'd be a fun idea. So once I get that the desk thing, the table for it, and then got to make sure it works. I might have to do some repairs because it's been sitting for a minute. Just haven't had space for it. Sick. Cool. I thought that would be fun. And then eventually I'll also get some like acrylic paints and I can like paint them and stuff. So yeah, that'd be cool. Hell yeah. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched into the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? It's a great question. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So, how do you use it? Not Gumshoe getting logic explained to him when Mans has been a detective for God knows how long at this point. Oh my God. First, I recall information we've gathered with left bumper, and then I connect them together with Y. Interesting. That's a cool mechanic. Also kind of hilarious. Whenever they mention the buttons on the controller in the meta, it's kind of funny to like imagine they have like a canonical left bumper. Now to use left bumper and recall the facts. Crime scene, my office. The office key. So we go, is it a coincidence? Ah, I see. Okay, and then obviously these fit together because it's not. They had the key. Well, yeah, they had to have if the door wasn't broken, I guess. For security, yeah. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. To be fair, his salary is lower than a class clown's grades. So, of course, Gumshoe's always lost and barely earns money. He only worked very hard during the 2-4 case. Farewell Turnabout. We still love my guy Gumshoe though. Absolutely, absolutely. I really like this because it's super Edgeworth accurate, and it's funny to see for Nick. He had to use some insane magic bullshit, when Edgeworth just has to use logic. Yeah, that's really funny because it does show the difference in style and intellect. Not that like Phoenix is stupid, but Edgeworth is exceptionally smart, and I think that these difference in mechanics is a really cool way to illustrate that. It's especially because like I was thinking we were going through the case where 3-5 where we start as Edgeworth in the investigation, and I'm thinking like, man, I'm too clumsy at these investigations to be playing Edgeworth. This mechanically changes it so it really feels like polished and like pulled together the way you would expect Edgeworth to do an investigation. Nick, I use my Korean Magatama. Edgeworth, hold my logic. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so funny. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Interesting, those handprints. Why were there bloody handprints there? Yes, sir! Hey, begin investigation. That's fun. All right. Yeah, be careful when doing that logic think, because otherwise you can lose health and die. Okay, that's good to know. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply use A when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use Y, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. And much like before, you can save at any point, anytime. Awesome. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Ooh, this is so sick. Just being able to move around like this is so novel to me. Oh my god. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? That is funny to think about. Edgeworth using a button from controller or keyboard to help with his investigations. Yeah, exactly. Like, where in his anatomy is the A button? And like the Y button? Those are used for like thought and speech. So are those in his head? Those are like internal buttons, I imagine. But his right bumper? I bet you Phoenix knows exactly where that one is. Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Oh, that was Gumshoe who said that. Care to enlighten me as to where? I remember there will still be just in case saves in this game. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Interesting. Detective. Oh, damn, the subtitles did go up. Damn, we really are damned if I do, damned if I don't. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. It'll go down, I'm sure, yeah. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. That's interesting. That might explain why they were able to get into the office and why they were here. Let's keep collecting evidence, though.
I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa.
That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir.
I like these mechanics so far in the game. Actually moving around as if you were really in an adventure game is a sick mechanic they thought of. We're actually investigating now. Right, yeah, I love this. This is great.
Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has the time to spare, let alone rest.
You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end.
Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel like more of an active agent in the world.
Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers?
The ones that come with a card attached every month like clockwork for you. Yup. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. All will be resolved. Wendy.
Oh, Miss Irony, how painful are thy thorns.
Wendy, isn't that the name of the old lady with the whiny voice that's stalking?
That's enough, detective. You need not remind me further.
Yeah, it is old bag. So she's stalking Edgeworth? Oh no.
Well, it's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll is spared any harm.
Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again?
Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of old Neo Old Tokyo is the Steel Samurai. And his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and the Nickel Samurai, along with a deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show gives its presence.
You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy?
He's definitely a fanboy. And I love that for him. I love that he's like enough of a fanboy that he can have this openly displayed, but he's so like prim and proper and insecure about it that he has to lie about why he has it.
Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation.
Edgeworth definitely hides the fact that he likes Steel Samurai. Yeah. He's so tsundere.
Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right?
King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield.
They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right?
Yes. But I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people.
Kev wants to request a game. What's that, Kev? What game you interested in requesting?
As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself.
You'll get the Steam link 1 sec. Bet.
That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime.
Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me.
Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir.
That killer is gonna pay. This tea set.
Oh my god. That just hit home. I don't have a lot of fancy teaware, but I got a few pieces that if someone broke, I'd be mad. Here you go. Seems like the type of thing you'd enjoy, and it's relatively short too, about as long as Ghost Trick. Cool, let's check this out real quick. Hi-Fi Rush. Interesting. Hold up. Let me mute the game so we can watch this trailer with the volume on. Oh wait, this is gonna be loud as shit. Steam is always loud as shit. Why not lo-fi slow? That's what I'm saying, you know? I like to take it slow. No. Oh, that is an adorable cat.
Mind if I join?
Does that mean I have to fight?
I believe it does, sir.
Yeah, this art style is very peak. It reminds me a little bit of the Spider-Man animated movies.
This is entertaining.
Like it has that bit, like that comic feel, and it's got the really distinct parallax going on. Yeah, exactly.
And welcome to Vandalay Campus.
Yes!
Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let me add that to my wish list. $30. Okay, we might be able to make that happen. All right. Where am I? Where is my wish list? Oh, this isn't the my actual Steam page. I see. Okay. Let me go add this to my wish list real quick, and then we'll resume the game. Hi-Fi Rush. There it is.
It's rewind time.
It's rewind time. It sure is. Let's see. Where the heck is my wish list? Why? Oh, there it is. I use Steam on mobile for wish listing all the time, so I'm not used to the layout on here. Anyway, wait, I gotta turn the volume back up. Let's get back into this investigation. Actually, let me check something real quick related to that. Rush. Okay, no. All right. So yeah, I'll try to get that as soon as I can, and then we'll play it. Kevin wants you to chuck some H2O, by the way. I see that. Cheers. Stay hydrated, folks. Thank you, Kev. Cashing in all the channel points.
That killer is gonna have to pay. This tea set.
Yikes! You're really mad over this.
This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. Costs more than your whole month's paycheck.
You can play it in between Investigation 1 and 2. Might as well not get burnt out while you're at it. Yeah, for sure. Don't spend them all in one place, Kev. I kind of did. Yeah, I'll see if I can swing it before then, because I gotta get that stand for the printer first. But I'm hoping I'll be able to get that. We'll see. But I'll play it as soon as I can, because I think I'll be able to manage that. But yes. That would be ideal. I guess it depends how long this one takes. Yes.
What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks.
Investigation 1 is about 20-25 hours. Not too bad. Okay. So this will probably take like a week and a half to 2 weeks then. So there's a good chance we might be able to snag that game before this ends. Oh, that's nice. The little check mark is very convenient to help me know what I've looked at already.
Your files are all over the floor, sir.
They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless.
Nah. We felt it in our heart, Gumshoe. We felt it right here.
I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room.
Well, I watered the flowers every day just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I come in and clean this place until it sparkled.
What a nice guy. Like, he asked him to water his plants for him, and he really went a step above. Like, what an absolute bro.
Does he have a life?
Damn, dude does some nice ass shit for you and you're judging him for it. Oh, Edgeworth.
They finished photographing the body, so I should be alright to examine the area.
Also, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but this game isn't written by Shutakami, but by someone else, the writer of Ace Attorney 5 and 6, since this was made after Apollo Justice when Shu left. Yeah, I think you mentioned that yesterday, right? It's the, I can't remember his name, but it was the dude who took over. You said he's been involved in all the games up till now, and yeah, that's really interesting. We'll see how he holds up to the master. Takashi Yamazaki. Yes, that's the guy.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Oh, interesting.
What do we have here?
Hey, I think I've seen one of these before.
It's a police badge, detective.
Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkydink.
Let's take a look inside.
Buddy Faith.
Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective just like you.
Let me make some tea real quick. A coinkydink? What? Yeah. I've never heard of such a word before. Oh, really? That's like some Midwest core ass shit for real. It's just like a cutesy way of saying coincidence. Oh my god, I've heard so many like 40-year-old moms saying that growing up. Oh, what a coinkydink. Oh, well, look at you. What a coinkydink. You're here. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's some Midwest core shit for real. I thought Gumshoe was saying coincidence wrong. I mean, basically. It's not really a New Yorker thing, which is funny for Gumshoe to be saying it because he's very New York coded. At least in my opinion, but yeah.
Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other.
That's it? Well, let's keep looking.
Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area.
Larry is also very New Yorkian. Yeah.
It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area.
Oh, it looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir.
In other words, he was shot.
Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that.
Please, have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene.
Wait a sec, does that say gum?
Are you gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir?
Of course. This is the safest way I know how to keep track of it all.
All right, if you say so.
I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press right bumper to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often.
I don't believe it. I packed those files on the shelf so tight. And not even an earthquake can make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all.
A problem to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf.
Hold up. You have no thoughts on this, Mr. Genius Edgeworth. That definitely says gum. Okay. Guess I'm a better investigator than Edgeworth.
Oh, that's good shit.
I've been wanting some of this. It's a type of tea called Lao Chateau, and I've been jonesing for it for a hot minute. When they like pack tea to ferment it. Yes, I was gonna do the loop of all the evidence and then circle back on that, but thank you for the reminder. When they ferment like pu'er and other dark teas like that, sometimes you get little clumps from the pressure and fermentation, and those little clumps are called Lao Chateau. And it's the best tea in the world. If you're a weirdo like me who likes tea that tastes like dirt.
Ouch. They even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. Figured we could play a few games.
I had no idea you were interested in chess.
I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so thought I'd give chess a try.
In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case.
Nice, nice. It's a bro date.
Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much.
It's nice of you to humor him. Alright, let's talk to the coppers.
You called, sir?
Oh, okay, to talk to Gumshoe. Okay. Notice anything?
Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe?
Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth?
Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair.
Ouch, that's rough.
Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective.
Sorry, sir.
That's rough. About investigating.
I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, sir. Examine anything and everything with A. By checking various things out, we can gather all sorts of evidence and information. You can see evidence we collected with right bumper. For information
and leads, it's left bumper.
That's it. Great job, sir. Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable is the way to go.
It's called deductive reasoning, Detective. Clearly something you lack. I seem to have picked up a few good leads.
Oh, so now you're gonna do that thing you do with all the information, right?
Where is the left bumper? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's one of those questions that might be better left unanswered, though.
What are you babbling about?
The brainy thing you were talking about just a few minutes ago, sir. Logic. You said that you can look at all your leads and info by pressing left bumper. And you pick the ones that seem related with A and connect to them with Y. That's your way of investigating, right, sir?
Yes, which is why this exercise in explaining my own method to me was unnecessary.
Okay, then how about I explain my logic to you next?
That is even more unnecessary.
Damn. Okay, so maybe we can... okay. Gotta talk to the coppers. Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet, there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes.
Talk about a contradiction.
Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. How's it coming along?
Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art.
Well, I never.
Let's see. What have I missed? Oh.
It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tiny that it looks newer than when I first bought it.
Well done, Gumshoe.
Oh, yeah. That thing's so polished that it makes mirrors jealous.
Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, Detective.
My job is to protect your office, sir.
And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it.
That's harsh, sir.
I have to admit, the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay.
Damn. Okay, I think we've got all the clues, so now we've got to connect some dots, I think. Oh, nope.
I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look.
Okay, let's try to connect some dots. Oh, whoops, wrong guy. Okay, here we go. Left bumper. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? According to his badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer, so perhaps he was after some files?
I can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information.
Yeah, that's fair. That was a bit of a stretch. Alright, so found at the crime scene. It's the same model as those used by precinct detectives. And the victim was a detective, so maybe the gun is his. How do I connect these dots? Let's see. I want to try to connect the revolver with the struggle. I'm not sure what the best way to approach that is, though. Let's try... Okay. Why did this happen? Let's try this, and then I think I'm going to have to find more evidence if this doesn't work. Damn it. Okay. Alright, I gotta stop playing around. I need stuff that I'm like confident in. So let's see here. What am I missing? Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. Body was found around 2:05. Low-key, I'm sure it's the pistol and the guy being detective. I haven't played in 8 years, so don't take my word for it. You can present evidence to Gumshoe. Okay, let's try that.
I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than arrest it.
Is that the only talent you have? Oh, wait.
Okay. Let's try this a different way then. The victim was a detective. We can establish that this was maybe his rifle or his gun. Hey, okay.
The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster.
So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him.
Interesting.
Let's see what else we can find about this revolver.
As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use right stick.
I think we all know where the right stick is located.
You can use right stick to locate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use left bumper and right bumper to zoom in and out to get the nitty gritty.
Okay. What about this little horse? No?
To think that it's so easy to take a life with just the pull of a trigger.
You know, I can't ever see myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones they use at a track and field meets to stop races. If you take off before it's fired, everybody always ends up following your lead.
To chase you down for a false start, detective.
Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place.
Hilarious. Okay.
It looks like only one round was fired from this.
Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're gonna find out. We should send the body to...
Jim! Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Isn't that the killer?
Are you alright?
Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be!
Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body.
The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night.
Sure. Just in a bloodstained suit, pal.
Where are my manners?
Aren't you that prosecutor?
Why, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting.
I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir.
So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office.
Yes, that's correct.
Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim!
Hey, don't go jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay?
I will not! I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office.
That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? And so the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means.
So it was you then! You're Jim's killer!
No way, pal. You got it all wrong.
Everyone calm down.
His pun name is Jock and Sportsman. Yeah. I didn't catch that at first. That's so funny. Jock Sportsman.
Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions?
All right, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal?
A pleasure to work with you.
You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all.
Thank you. I intend to.
I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Jeez. What a prick.
I should probably give them some space. How is it coming along?
Please, I need absolute silence. This picture is too important to mess up.
I'll leave the man to his art.
That's so funny.
Your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor?
It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round.
Wait, so that's not the murder weapon.
So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well.
That's the jacket from 3-4 flashback, if you don't remember. Yeah.
They dared you to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in. What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster.
It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here.
Huh? Like what?
I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us.
Really?
Did I say
contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods and I will conduct this investigation in my own way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play.
Uh-oh, here come the ad breaks. Run, hide, fight for your lives. I'll see y'all soon.
First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction.
It's right there.
This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press Y. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things.
Eureka!
This whole bullet is the contradiction. This bullet hole is the contradiction.
What do you mean, sir?
It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame.
Hey, that's right.
However, this gun was only fired once,
Hey, that's true too.
which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight?
By the way, I noticed something, sir.
Yes?
What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame?
Ah, that. It's a secret safe.
Secret safe? Oh, I smell money.
I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way.
Roger that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about dusty.
I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while.
I had no idea there was a safe here. I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session.
That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
That makes sense.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Now this is odd.
You found something, sir?
This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean?
Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself.
You there, forensic scientist.
Yes, sir.
Could you please dust this area for fingerprints?
You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Very interesting.
As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have.
Oh, wait, I can further investigate this. Oh, okay. Don't forget to save too. Hey, good looking out. Let's do that right now. Da-da. That's save noise. All right. Why did this happen in my office? Okay. So. I feel like this is the move. Why did it happen? Well, that doesn't really directly correlate, does it? Fingerprints have been wiped clean. Be another gun in play here. Ooh, wait. What if the other gun is in the safe? That feels like way too much of a stretch. Okay. That's saying fingerprints were wiped though. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, well, this feels like too much of a stretch. Let's see. Okay. The killer's goal. What happened? What was the killer after? Let's see. Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? Let's see. Does this connect? These feel like the only two that kind of connect. Maybe in the other orientation, though? Let's see. Shit. Pieces don't fit together quite right. Order don't matter much, I believe, so just get the things right. Okay. Is there something I'm missing, then? I guess I could talk to this guy.
Mr. Portsman, a word if I may.
Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring him to justice. You wait and see. It'll be for both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? You can definitely use logic. It's actually rather obvious. Oh, interesting.
No, that's all right. Feel like I'm interrupting their conversation.
Let's see. Killer's goal. I mean, these don't feel like they go together. His goal was to wipe fingerprints. His goal was to have another gun. No, I don't think so. And we already tried this one, and this didn't work. So it's not this. Fingerprints have been wiped. Signs of a struggle. Oh, that doesn't work. Try process of elimination, yeah. See, I don't see how that... Okay, so it's not super literal. Okay.
I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after.
Well, what was it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests...
Right, okay. So it's not like... The evidence isn't super literal. There's some flexibility to the use of it.
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft. I believe.
Okay, that checks out. Okay. I think I was assuming that the evidence had to like connect in a very like direct, literal way, and not that like, yeah, they wiped the fingerprints on the safe, so that's obviously what they were going for. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime.
Let's see. You're getting used to the new gameplay loop. It happens. Yeah, exactly. That's just kind of getting used to it. Exactly. That's well put. So, we know the motive was theft. Now, was the killer's motive theft? Struggle. Does that tie to anything? What does this reveal? My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle, but what if it's because of theft, right? Maybe they were searching for things. Because that was kind of the first thing I thought of when I saw that, especially now that Gumshoe had that whole dialogue about how tight-packed everything was, that an earthquake wouldn't knock it out. So I don't think the struggle is what knocked it out. Let's try this. Hey! Okay, now we're getting this. Now we're getting it.
There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelf files like you've never seen before, even at a library.
Sure. Let's give that a try.
Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth.
No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth.
It's true. And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth?
First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place.
You got it. Here, let me help.
So this file goes here, and that book goes there.
You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done.
See, I thought those handprints looked weird. How do you have handprints facing that direction on the bookshelf? Unless the bookshelf moves? Is there a secret tunnel here to be waiting to be discovered? How interesting. Let me adjust my camera real quick. The right way? That's the wrong way. That's the right way. Okay, that's too far. There.
It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh.
I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf.
Oh, yeah, they fell back. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
But, you know, I'm no good with blood, sir.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture.
"3A, 3B, 3C. OA, B, C, D, E. 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, E, F, G, H. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H." Okay.
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Oh, I see. I don't think so. Oh, wait. If the bullet went through his abdomen clean. This is it. Okay, now we're getting it.
Is this spot somehow connected to the evidence I hold?
It is. Eureka!
There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole.
What do you mean, sir?
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting there lying down, sir?
That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot.
Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir?
It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position?
Is it the order of the files, mayhaps? I think so. That feels like the easiest explanation, right? Can I save? Let's hit that save. Alright, let's do the order of the files.
I believe the order of the files is a bit off.
You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir.
Oh?
Yeah. You see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird.
Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye.
But the numbers are all out of order.
Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out.
Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved?
They've finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it logically should be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess.
Gumso! Uh-oh.
Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim.
But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time?
Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe there on blood?
I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence.
Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed.
No, wait. There's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after?
OH. Oh! Investigation complete. Not bad, not bad. A few flubs, but not too bad for our first time through this loop. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party.
If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up.
Jim's words. They're more than enough, wouldn't you say?
If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning.
You got it. All right.
I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig it out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do?
What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique.
Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir?
Might as well.
All right. First, I listen to the witness's testimony. I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence. I open up my organizer with RB and present a piece of contradictory evidence.
Oh, okay. This is the same as Ace Attorney.
To present something, I simply use Y, but that's old news.
But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in their testimony every time, right?
Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with LB. Sometimes, by pressing, I can draw out new information or new modified testimony.
I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during the investigations, too.
Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully.
Mr. Portman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and you shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I love the way it's done here. You're rebutting them instead of how it's done in Ace Attorney. That's a good point. That's a good point. And yes, you can still press. Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's not quite playing out like it's a court case, right? Because we're not in court. But it's the same mechanic recontextualized in a really cool way. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters on his body was hiding. And it'll be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. We'll see about that.
You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer?
I could hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest.
Huh. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence.
Hold it!
You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask.
What is it?
Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith?
Oh yeah, that's a great point. This guy is such an asshat. Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jock and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? The man's dead. Call him by his real name. Like, what the fuck?
But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name.
Well, Jock and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim.
He talks about the victim like he was his pet.
Yeah, for real. Like sociopath energy. Very strong. Further, oh, right. Okay, yeah. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead.
Hold it!
Whoa, what's going on Twitch? Is this just my stream, or are y'all able to see the screen? What the fuck? My stream looks fine? Okay, cool. That's good. Because mine is just like a blank green. I don't know what's going on. Hold on a sec. What the fuck? What's going on? What the hell? Alright. I don't know what's going on, but as long as y'all's is working, that's good enough for me. Hold on, let me... Dang. Alright, well, I don't know what's going on there, but... Okay, we'll just move on, I guess. And hope it's fine. Oh, God. That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft.
Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth?
It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals a day, pal.
Hold on, let me check on my phone. Now I'm paranoid that it's not just me. Hopefully it is. Okay, good. It works on my phone. We're good. I don't know why it's glitching like that, man. What the hell? Mine looks okay, so you should be fine. Cool, cool, cool.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals a day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but...
Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to you, you didn't notice... Oh, whoops. Press here.
And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing?
Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters this body was hiding.
Why do you think the killer didn't notice the bloody letters?
The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for you detective to miss something.
Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal.
There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone.
I can't say I disagree with him on that point.
Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it, with evidence.
I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game-finishing Spike. And it'll be by his final words that you will be brought to justice.
Are you saying that those letters were intended for you?
Yep. Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my partner.
And it looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters.
What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound?
Actually, there's a gigantic flaw with his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence.
Okay, so let's take a look at what we can present. Yes. Okay, the bullet went clean through. One of the files that were written up in blood was stolen. I think this is what we got to present. Now, we probably have to pick the right statement. And then let's present on here. I think this is the move. Let's see how we do.
Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there's a serious flaw in your logic.
Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game.
I can't help but find it odd.
Excuse me?
Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it.
If you have time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see it? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file?
What? That's impossible.
What's impossible, Mr. Portsman?
Nothing.
The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines.
It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder.
I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's names where the file should be as proof.
Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H.
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
That's such a great reaction.
Which means... What exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the scene of the crime.
That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time.
Well, Mr. Portsman,
Brilliant! Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold.
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
Meh. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes.
Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up. However,
What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. But Mr. Edgewood just proved I'm innocent, pal.
That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Then why do I sense that you still have something to say?
This dude reminds me of the detective from Ghost Trick. Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with the key to this office?
One other person.
Hey, you there! Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me?
A lady.
This girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
So security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't.
What's wrong with him all of a sudden?
I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of the security. LOL. Detective Gumshoe, sir.
Maggie.
Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight.
I see. And your point is?
My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all office doors in this building. Dude first got accused, and now his girlfriend. Yeah, for real.
What?
If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room.
That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it.
Can we take that as a confession, Detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics.
Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. Mayhaps.
So you're saying she used the master key?
That close-up shots of their eyes is actually a really cool thing in the DS. Top screen would show Edgy, and the bottom would be his guy. Would be this guy. All Ace Attorney games did this, in fact. That is really cool. That's definitely something that's kind of lost in the adaptation to a PC because it's all one screen. Although it freaked me the fuck out if my second screen all of a sudden had a big ass pair of eyes looking at me. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say?
That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well.
That was then. This is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me.
I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him.
Oh my god, bro. Link broke 1 sec. Oh. Couldn't find a good pick, but basically like this. Oh, okay. Yeah. No worries. That's so funny. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door... Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, we gotta press him.
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key?
There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight, she's it. Here we go. All right. Oh, I see. I see. That's really cool. I like that. I love when people use like really clever integrations of tech like that. You got it. Might as well put it to use, right? There's only one person. Oh, right. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time.
Should I hear Miss Bird out?
Yes, absolutely. But let me save first.
Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies.
I'll be the judge of that, Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in it wasn't there in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stole it.
Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you?
I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Ha! A likely story. Where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where to put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal, trust me. You don't want to test just how bad her luck is.
Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive.
Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe.
It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own.
You say it's thievery. Sure, but we don't know it's Maggie's intent. We know it's the thieves.
Hold it!
I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly.
It was just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning.
If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first?
Now, don't make that face. See? There goes the truth running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up to it.
I don't think you're catching my drift.
But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she is the only one who could have opened your office door, that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect.
Hold it!
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions?
Are you saying there's another way to open other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you made a spare for someone else.
I'll have you know I have never made a spare. So what are you insinuating?
Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. Indeed. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she?
Hold it!
Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe?
Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors.
Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir.
We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force.
Oh, wait. What? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course not. That's hogwash.
Ooh, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there.
Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
Hold it!
By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe?
I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence.
I would love to. But first, we should listen a bit more and digest what he is saying. And press him for more information.
Pretty sure we've pressed all the statements now, so. Now, what can we present? This is the one where he was first like, I gotta present, so let's see here. Let's see. I'm not feeling too confident on this one, so let's see. It's pretty obvious, snuck in using the master key. Her intent, I'd say thievery. Detective Gumshoe isn't the one, then that leaves only Miss Bird, on top of which she knows him. But this is the only one that really feels plausible. Let's see. I'm gonna go with this. This feels like the maybe best bet.
Objection!
Let's see how that works.
Mr. Portsman, there's a large flaw in your logic.
Oopsies, this is not the answer. Really? I think it holds up rather well, actually. What do you think is wrong with it?
Nothing. Let's move on.
This isn't like you at all, sir. Concentrate.
That was careless of me. Can't afford to do that or the truth will slowly slip away. Remain calm, Miles. This is the only way.
Okay. What can we present? Found at 2:05 a.m. Through the victim. Only one shot fired.
Hold it!
Maybe we press this. This is technically a new statement, I think.
I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However,
Glad to hear that, Miles Edgeworth. Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me.
with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe,
Hey, good thinking, asking for my opinion on the matter.
would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
Okay, interesting. What about the safe?
Objection!
Here we go, here we go.
Do you wish to continue that Miss Bird was set on stealing something?
Ooh. Only prosecutors knew about them. Exactly. Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway.
That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan.
But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down.
I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted.
Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor?
Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now?
Curses! Why? What made you?
What's with the angry face all of a sudden?
It's all my fault.
What do you mean?
It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes.
What did you just say?
We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes.
And that means...
Yeah, I know. I had only just told him, too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim.
Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief.
And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir.
Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him.
Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief?
I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense.
Has he no honor?
Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show.
Listen, pal. How many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit.
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
But, sir.
We have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from the crime scene, I'd be most grateful.
Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again.
If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear? What a prick.
Yes.
Let's see, where are we? Oh, here we go. Okay, so we have the autosave, which will always be there, and then a separate save file. I like that the autosave is segregated, so I can't overwrite it, and I'll always have that. It's very convenient. March 14th, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutors Building, 12th floor hallway. There we go. Just keep playing. That's the move. You can definitely finish this case to stream, by the way. Don't worry about the length. Just keep playing. We'll see. I'm going to go for like another hour. But yeah, I was planning to continue.
What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable.
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir.
But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir.
True. So then what now?
Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch.
Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway.
Eh? Really, sir?
For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door.
All right. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway.
What is a basketball doing here?
That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis.
Not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway.
This guy's such a jackass. Oh shit, it's Pain.
What is a basketball hoop doing here?
Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago?
So when and why was it moved indoors?
I don't exactly remember when, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it?
Payne always being there no matter what. Yeah. He just shows up for the vibes.
I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it up himself.
All the way up to the 12th floor?
Damn, that reminds me of when I was moving to Seattle. We had to bring a fucking heavy ass futon all the way up to like I think it was the 5th floor. Not quite 12th, but still, it was like high as fuck because it didn't fit in the elevator. That was brutal. Let's talk to Payne.
It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murderer within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got your hands on. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I'll keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again?
Damn.
Is everything all right?
Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning, and I'm finally at 154 pounds.
Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and this room.
Oh, everything's okay, sir.
A word of advice. Stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight.
Damn. Straight up threatening, bro.
This office.
1203. 1203. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again?
It's Mr. Portman, sir.
So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
I found the missing book.
It's...
Isn't this that Missing Zero series file, sir?
No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seems to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind.
So what are these Zero files about, sir? I guess they got something worth stealing in them, huh?
Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine.
Huh?
They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons. But let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were.
Then that means the thief must also want the file for specific reasons, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case file from 10 years ago are missing.
I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case.
Talk to Maggie.
I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case.
I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth.
I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her. Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
That sounds like fun. Just once I'd love to play with them.
It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir.
Damn.
Relegated to ball boy.
On second thought, I don't think I'd have it. I don't think I'd have fit in all. What the hell? Oh, on second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in at all with them then.
Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective.
She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit.
But I owe a lot to the Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night.
You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of food, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. And now, I even managed to name a criminal just when I've become a security guard.
That's a lot to go through in one lifetime.
I know! Just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Hey, welcome back from the ad break. Oh shit, wait. The ad break already rolled. Whoops, I missed it then. My bad. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Alright, now we need to present some things to her.
So when did you discover the master key was missing?
By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir.
Okay. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place?
It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window.
Always, you say. Except for this time, correct?
Well, I admit I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge.
She used the master key.
Okay, she don't know nothing about this. Yeah. They really are made for each other. Okay, you don't know nothing about that. Oh, here we go.
What do you mean by you used the master key?
Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key.
And who was that?
I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right?
What is it?
That's right. I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir.
What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird. Quickly.
Here we go. Now we're cooking. It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loaned the master key to him.
No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. So I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally.
I see. And then?
What happened after that?
Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight.
Right before it went missing, too.
Talk about suspicious.
I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. The door is locked tight.
I bet old credit card trick wouldn't work here, Mr. Edgeworth.
This is the office of a high prosecutor, Detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only the great cat burglar could get in. That must be who the culprit is.
Might I advise you to return to that conclusion, whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Room 1203. I take it that's Mr. Portsman's office.
Yeah.
You can't mistake it because of the basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door.
So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202?
I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd.
Yup, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why.
I can think of at least 3. Bah, why am I even wasting time thinking about this? A minimalist yet classy door made up of top quality wood.
It's kind of majestic, too. Fits in really well with the ambiance of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these.
Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Damn!
Mr. Payne. I suppose custodial work can also be dignified.
Damn!
Oh, Payne catching hella strays.
Is Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop.
Can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office.
But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here.
How long have I had the same office, and yet you still manage to get lost?
Okay, that appears to be everything. I think it's time to start combining logic. Well, let's inspect this. Maybe there's something different between our doors, you know?
According to the guard, there's no sign the lock was picked either, sir.
Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob?
Apparently the doorknob is clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think.
Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. 1202. These 4 numbers on a plate alone proclaim this to be my office.
Whoops. Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir.
They have to be able to take the plate off a room when it becomes vacant, you know? Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of...
Okay, yep. Okay. Being a detective has its own reward.
and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire.
I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone.
Right.
That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir.
Can we go back here? Can we slide this out? Okay, yeah, I think it's time to logic. And why? This key went missing from approximately 1 a.m. until 2:30. These have to be connected, right? Hey!
Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story.
What? No way, pal. I mean, sir.
You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time.
Oh, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I had totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right. It was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing.
And?
Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir.
You pretended?
Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir.
So in actuality, you never did relock the door then?
Well, I thought about maybe I could lock it after I found the key. I'm gonna think of it. I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly.
We're going in.
Is it? Maybe I should deduce. Maybe that's what I gotta do.
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Yes.
Eureka!
Hell yeah!
Oh, wow, I clipped the fuck out of that.
There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight?
Huh? You know, you're right.
Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door?
I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't.
Which means what, sir?
It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one.
She opened a different door. How can you prove that?
There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these.
The prints on the doorknob, mayhaps? On the number plates. What if he swapped the plates on our doors and got her to open Edgeworth's office? Let me save. But I think that's going to be what it is.
The prints on the number plate. They will tell us all we need to know.
Everything? Really? Like what, sir?
Like, well, for example, and such as... well, we know for sure that Detective Gumshoe's dinner will only consist of that instant noodles.
Wow! That was amazing, sir. How did you know?
Was that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, that's it. Now then, we should get back to doing what we need to do, and that is...
okay, maybe it is the doorknobs. I'm getting ahead of myself, perhaps. The doorknob or maybe the master key? Let's do the master key.
If we examine the fingerprints on the master key...
Well, if that's what you want to examine, sir, that was the very first thing we did. I can tell you what we didn't find any prints on, other than Maggie's. Shit.
That's so brilliant, Mr. Edgeworth. So what can we deduce from that?
Ah, well...
Tell you what I deduced. I think it means that the culprit wiped their prints off.
Yes, that's exactly it. I'm glad you were able to come to the same conclusion. However, the more important matter is we need to examine these on the doorknob.
I took the scenic route.
The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, pal. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what did you find out?
There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, Detective.
Sir, I found only Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob.
So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive.
Huh? I'm lost, sir.
Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose prints should also be on this?
Okay, he said that we found... Shoot. Let's see, so we found Miss Bird and Mr. Faith? Was that right? So then we should have Portsman, right?
Take that!
Oh shit, did I pick the wrong one? Oops. Oh, Mr. Portsman and Miss Faith's prints. Okay. Oh, so it should be Miss Bird's. Okay. Oh, I should have checked the history. I forgot I can do that. That's handy.
Is that so? Well, there should be one other person who left a mark on this.
Right. Okay, now we got this. And I can go... Okay. Gotta remember that.
Take that!
Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent?
You mean...
Yes. The door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. What have we here? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What is this?
Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it.
I brought 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. I guess I'll catch up with you later, buddy.
It looks like a note from the victim.
Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman.
Note left by victim data jotted down on my organizer. Okay. Oh shit!
What's this?
What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game?
That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off.
Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a serious sweet slam dunk.
The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this.
Hey, investigation complete.
Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely.
Huh? How so, sir?
In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case.
One sec, I gotta pull something real quick to thaw, and then we'll continue this. Just hang tight for like 30, like a minute. But if you got everything that I like you to say, don't waste it, don't waste on it at a time. Yeah, I've been up before. I've been up. Let's just do a couple. Let's move on a little bit while I wait for the water to get high enough.
With the real culprit of this case.
Oh, am I not clicked in? You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth.
As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman.
What? Mr. Portsman?
I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspected it as him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir.
That is anything but logical.
One sec, I think I'm good. All right. Oh shit. My new tea tray arrived. Now I'm getting hella distracted. But we're gonna continue in just a sec. Hell yeah, I'm swapping this out right now. Impromptu unboxing. Get out of this thing. This is gonna clear up so much desk space for me for drawing. Package did well. I'm not mad about ceramic, so I definitely didn't want it. Oh, I can finally see it. Hell yes. Oh, this actually came from China. Hold up. Look at this newspaper that this was wrapped in. In Chinese. All Mandarin. That's really cool. I might save this. It's just like a random Chinese, like, page from a Chinese newspaper. That's so cool. Right? Yeah. This is the top where all my teeth. And then this is where all the like wastewater drains to below. Perfect. Ah, it's the perfect size. Hold on. I've wanted a tray like this for so long, okay? Perfect. Also, where the kettle is, where you saw that. Yes. So next thing is where the kettle is, where you saw that. That's where I'm getting the desk for my 3D printer. And then it'll have a shelf for like my desk and tea stuff. And then also one for the printer, that'll be the top shelf, and then a bottom shelf for storage. That'll be perfect. Let me put this box away. Clean up after myself a bit, and then we'll get back into the game. Hell yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's get rolling into this game.
That is anything but logical.
Oh yeah, let me switch to the game. There we go. Yeah. Good catch. Good looking out.
Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. March 14th, 5:12 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 202. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letter, sir. All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this.
What the hell? Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe.
Handle the line for you, Portsman. We got you now.
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case.
Okay, is this like the final confrontation now? You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay if you promise to stay out of our way.
You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl.
Yeah, first case, so it's short. Yeah, no worries. It's a good introduction. It gave me a good feel for the game loop. I feel much more comfortable with it at this point. Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know?
Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up.
Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you've yet to prove anything. Alright, Mr. Portsman rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprits. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad you're doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here.
Sorry, but we are not finished yet.
Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something.
I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on, with evidence.
Okay.
Hold it!
My accusation is a harebrained idea, is it?
You tell me. I'd say it is. After all, there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit.
Hold it!
We'll see about that.
Oh? And what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about here?
Jim was my partner, so you can't say I have a motive for killing him.
And that's it? That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain.
But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree?
Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence means?
Cook his ass. It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. You sure about that? Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Oh, whoops. I just skimmed through full autopilot. Yes. Okay. So we did the first two. Let me press on these.
Hold it!
Unfortunately, I believe I have already shown how earlier.
Your speculation means nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room. Okay, so yeah, I know the angle of attack here. Is it time to raise an objection? Maybe. It might be time. I know we still have one to press on, but
You claim to have had no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth?
alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot.
Very well then. I propose that you use this to open my door. I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Wait. Hold on for a second. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know.
Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key.
It's all coming together.
You had asked Miss Bird to open your office door for you, yes?
Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know?
But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it?
Busted. What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See? Miss Bird backs up my story.
Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted?
And how do you suppose I did that?
By switching the number plates on our doors, for example.
That's right! They do slide out pretty easily.
Furthermore, then you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Miss Bird think that was his room?
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, okay, good. I was like, where is it? I don't have the piece of evidence I need. Thought I messed up. What? The basketball hoop, sir?
It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor.
Ah! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's.
There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure.
I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. You think so? Conjecture's rebuttal. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he?
I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday.
Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Just call me Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Hold it!
Nonsense, you say?
Yes, because I'm telling the truth here. I had the girl open my office door.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course.
Sure. You have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right?
Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you.
After that, I was in my room the entire time.
And what were you doing in your office at 2 in the morning?
I was doing my usual training regimen.
Training regimen? Were you going through law books from start to finish?
Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance.
Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have.
With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem.
I was doing my usual workout, so you don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Hold it!
I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually.
But none of those would stand up on their own.
Then what about all the evidence?
It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence.
He seems to be trembling a little. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony.
Now you're just spouting nonsense. You had the girl open your door, and you were in your room the entire time. And I think it's either this one or this one. Let's take a look at what I have to present. Okay. Yes. Issued to the victim and believed to be the murder weapon. Only one shot fired. Oh, yes, this! I don't have a reason to suspect him. Let's see here. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch you later. Okay. Okay, yeah, because this contradicts that he was in his room the entire time. That's perfect. Okay. That was a lie. Oh, what are you talking about? How was that a lie?
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman.
A note?
It was left under your door. Or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you? And what were you doing?
Ah!
Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you.
That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me.
Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence.
No way.
This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you.
Not found on the doorknob. Says she unlocked this door, but her... Yes, okay.
Take that!
I had your door dusted for prints.
My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time.
You're right, I didn't find anything, and definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints.
Her prints? What do they have to do with anything?
Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched.
Ah! Unless you're me, because what I do, I push the key in and then I use the key to turn the knob. Because a lot of knobs nowadays, the knob will turn with the key slot. So I don't even touch the knob.
Further, all of the prints in my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me, and Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped.
Busted!
As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office.
And what's so funny, pal?
Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What?
Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that doorknob down well. I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. No, because then why does it have face prints on it? After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own fingerprints would be on there.
You made that up just now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example.
Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir.
Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it.
Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. If memory serves, you came back to this office around 2 a.m., correct? One sec. But at exactly what time I was down in criminal affairs? Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe.
Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. Guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him around 2 a.m.
You see?
All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere.
Let's see. We're close, I can feel it. Came back around 2 a.m.
You are correct. It was around 2 a.m.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2.
Ooh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprits.
It is as you say. However...
Yes, however, you were the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprits. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprits. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs.
Hold it!
So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit.
Yep. Right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you at around that time.
See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi.
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face?
Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there! Sir! Please escort the young lady out. But remember, be gentle.
But Maggie!
Detective Gumshoe!
Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi?
The intruder I met could not have been Portsman, then who could it have been?
I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic.
Here we go. Okay, the culprit rearranged my files twice, once before and once after the murder. Why? The intruder I met could not have been Portsman, then who could it have been? Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? Who was this other intruder? So if it's not him, it has to be whoever had the handgun. This feels like a safe bet. I'm going to try to connect these. Yes! Okay.
There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight.
I mean, they're the only 2. It have to be these, right?
Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight. That would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder. So it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it. And once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great. So you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief.
A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight.
What do you mean, two?
It explains why both my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know.
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves the first time.
So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right?
And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for his chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him. And then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exits. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind.
You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated.
There was another?
Visitor, sir?
Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen zero file, right, sir?
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
So the shelves getting messed up twice and the 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times.
Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not in fact Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame, which I ran into the other person, is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything.
Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right. It would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there's still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof of that at this point. Don't say that, sir.
I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must.
You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory's correct. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. Hey, welcome back, NSK. Happy to see you. You missed the impromptu unboxing. My new tea tray arrived, and it was wrapped in a Chinese newspaper, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, we had a little impromptu unboxing. Midstream, yeah, literally. I got up to put something in some water to thaw, and I was like, oh, let me check if this arrived. And sure enough, it did. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to... So you think we should be out here looking for the thief? So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. Of course. Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions.
I don't think it's all that dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we?
My dumbass read Postman instead of Portsman. Who is this guy? I can tell I missed a lot. Yeah. He is another prosecutor and our main suspect. We pretty much got him cornered right now. I think we're at the conclusion of our first case, perhaps.
I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime.
Nice. Yeah. If you want to catch up, you're always welcome to check out the VODs, but yeah, I think we've pretty much got him nailed at this point. So you might be a little confused, but I hope you enjoy anyway. Sportsman's Alibi Part 2. 1 second, let me make a little bit of tea. This tea is really good. The last time I got it, it was the purple variety, and it was very delicious, but this one is strangely, if you know about tea, it's pretty strange that this one is actually kind of given away to a very sweet flavor that's kind of taking over. And it's sweeter than the purple variety, which is unusual because generally purple teas are seen as being sweeter. But yeah. Anyway, Portsman's Alibi. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say?
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't.
Why not?
That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer has clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And if it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the O files, right?
And that's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves?
Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe. Just maybe. We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. Oh, whoops. Go back. Ah, crap. There we go.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby.
Well, you never know. Maybe they just didn't get what they were really after.
Oh, you talk like you know quite a lot about this thief.
It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's notes,
Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered,
I don't have any, no.
you see? So I insist again that I was in my office at the entire time. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. That contradicts the notes.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith?
That's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. This guy's sweating bullets. I know nothing about the case besides some detective being murdered in Edgeworth's office, but this guy kind of sus. This guy is hella sus. He was sus the moment he walked in. Like, dead ass. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits.
And what of the evidence he brought?
They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant.
Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks.
He brought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant, that are related to yesterday's case.
Hold it!
A gun and a pendant.
Good stuff. Yes, this gun, which was the murder weapon. A pendant. Really reminds me of a certain red-haired girl and some defense attorney who was studying art. Yeah, exactly. It's really cool seeing the parallels between the cases we've done and what's happening in this game already. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim. Oh, I missed something. Hold on. Ah, fuck. Thank goodness for the history button. This gun, which was the murder weapon, this weapon, which belonged to the victim. And why were you taking them to Criminal Affairs? There was something in the past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with the case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction.
This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out.
So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left.
I can't expect you to know, can I?
Nope, but I guess you can expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions.
Oh? Then let's see you deduce.
Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed, and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I had laid out earlier.
I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it.
Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so I'm going to present... Actually, hold on. Let me save first. Alright, let's save, and now let's present the note. I think this is the move.
Objection!
Damn it.
Mr. Portsman, there's a large flaw in your logic.
Really? I think it holds up rather well, actually. What do you think is wrong with it?
Nothing. Let's move on.
This isn't like you at all, sir. Concentrate.
That was careless of me. I can't afford to do that or the truth will slowly slip away. Remain calm, Miles. It's the only way.
And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. Was there a third? Let's see. Yes. Okay. Here we go.
Objection!
Now we got him.
Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is you fail.
You lose. Good day, sir. Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
Well, what are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully.
Ah, it says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces.
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman.
I can't believe to get tripped up by a simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe.
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Get his ass.
Well, don't come any closer. I'm warning you.
This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Oh, hey, what's this?
Emphasis on pal.
He had this on him, sir. The tape.
Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide.
But why would he hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer.
Look at this motherfucking sweat.
Let's examine the videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin.
And I...
Ah, that's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
Bro sweating more than bullets. He's straight up sweating nukes. For real, bro sweating WMDs.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No! Hey, you've got it all wrong.
No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you have received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video.
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him?
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints?
Ah!
If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you, Mr. Faith, and Mr. Faith.
No, impossible. Lie. Man just swallowed his medal. Oh my god. March 14th, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202.
Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good.
Oh damn, Maggie's back. Yeah, and again, she's the suspect. Poor thing. Beating herself up over it and everything.
Very good.
And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The bloodwood came back, and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there.
Third time in a row now. Maggie is the new Maya. Damn, yeah, for real. Poor Maggie and Maya, honestly.
And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please, accept my apologies.
Oh, it was nothing. Really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail.
Damn.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say he was corrupt?
Well, I heard that there was a number of suspicious things related to his court case. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir.
Forged evidence, huh?
And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons.
Ooh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up.
Although, we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something.
This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh? Well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? That Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy?
I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence.
Right, okay, let's see here. We figured out that. Let's see. This one, I assume? I'm assuming this one.
Take that!
The person who stole this file. The other villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
Yes?
I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir.
This card.
Well, what is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about.
Yes, this is the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood.
Interesting.
Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about the thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts.
Yatagarasu is a real thing in Japanese folklore, by the way. Oh, interesting. I wonder what it looks like. Let's see. Yatagarasu. Eight-span crow, three-legged mythical crow in Japanese mythology, a divine messenger for the sun goddess Amaterasu, and a symbol of guidance, wisdom, and divine intervention. Very cool. Oh, those are in Demon Slayer, or at least like a interpolation of them. That's really cool. Nice.
The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even their target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look. Something's written on the back.
What? Let me see.
It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files.
So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago.
The end. Hell yeah. That was a great first case.
Yes.
Alrighty. We're gonna wrap it up there for today. Thoughts so far on first impressions. This is a really cool game. I'm digging it a lot. That little building sounds so silly. I agree. I really love it. It's kind of different from Ace Attorney in the ways I was expecting Ghost Trick to be, in that it's very similar at its core. The gameplay loop is very familiar, but distinctly different. Like, it took a sec to feel things out. It's different enough that, you know, it took a little time to feel it out, but it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was great. I'm excited to play some more. I have that game wishlisted, Kev, so when I get the chance, I'll buy it and we'll play that. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until next time, have a good one. Peace. We still have more cases to go. That was just the first case. Absolutely. We got a long way to go. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow for some more investigations. Peace.
nothing to hide. Wouldn't trade anyone here by my side for a ransom of riches. My fortune is pride.